Welcome back to another night out in the Montana garage. It is actually the same day that there's my shop helper again. Hey Moose. Anyways, it is the same day that I just finished the last video of cutting the frame horns off. It's a few hours later. So in this video, I'm going to make a short video of fixing the hole I put in the frame. If you guys didn't see the last video, I got a little crazy with the grinder, so I got a little hole in the frame there to fix. So first thing I'm going to do is get this mess cleaned up, and then I will probably just try to jack the frame up a little bit. I don't have anybody here to help me flip it over. Be a little easier probably to flip it over so that weld was kind of on the top at the bottom, but I'm just going to get her up in the air a little bit more, and then I'll take a better look at it, and we'll talk about how we're going to fix it. All right, so we got the mess cleaned up. We got the frame up in the air a little bit. So let's take a look at what we got. Actually, you know, I thought you guys might think that I cut that hole there on accident, but in reality, I just wanted to be able to get, I don't know if you can see that, I wanted to be able to get that piece of cardboard out of there. Obviously, I'm just kidding, but I think it's just kind of funny that it happens to be that right where I cut the hole, there's some sort of a piece of cardboard from some sort of part or something. Let's see if we can't see what it is and how long it's been in there. Oh, she's gonna rip something from Napa Electrical Systems. Some sort of Napa box. Oh. PCV valve. I wonder how that, oh, must have found its way in right there, I guess. It's just been living in there for a while. All right, well, enough of that. Let's figure out how we're gonna fix it. All right, I got two theories on how I should probably do this, or how I could probably do this. I'm not an engineer or an expert by any means, but I can imagine that little cut in there is, you know, going to be something that's going to significantly weaken the frame. I mean, I want to fix it, but I don't know. I mean, you tell me what you guys think. Is that something that do I need to be worried about that little cut is in there? I mean, it does suck because it's right on the, you know, the bend of the frame, which I'm sure is kind of what gives it its strength. So I'm going to fix it, but I don't think I need to really be worried about it. Like I said, if there's somebody out there that knows more than me, let me know. So my first theory is it's obviously too big of a gap just to fill in with weld. If it was a little closer, I would just try that. So I'm going to try to put a little piece of metal in here. I may actually try to use the piece I cut out of there. It's kind of got like a little bracket. I left it over there, but I may cut that and see if I can get that in there and then just get it welded back together. And then if that either doesn't go well, or if I don't feel like it, you know, created a good weld, the other thing that I might do is, this is a piece of the actual frame that I cut out back there for the spring pocket. So, you know, I'm not really worried about what this looks like, but so I'm going to try to just patch it, and then if that doesn't work, then I'll cut this and make like a, you know, an overlapping weld, or, you know, piece of metal that overlaps the whole thing, and I'll weld it all the way around. Obviously it won't look super cool or great or whatever, but I'm more worried about it just being, you know, strong and not giving me any issues down the road. So I got some grease in here. Obviously there, like I said, just like when we were talking about the other parts, there's grease in there, so I'm going to try to get that cleaned out the best I can. And then I think I will start with trying to get the piece I cut out of there and see if I can cut it good enough to fit back in there, and see if we can burn that back in. And depending on how that goes, we'll overlap it with some new metal or not. So let's see what happens. All right, so here we go. This is what I cut off of there. And let's see, I think it goes this way. So you can actually, kind of hard for me to show one-handed, I can actually puzzle it back together up there, switch hands. Pretty good. So goes something like that. So, I mean, let's look at this piece here. You know, this is the actual frame that I cut out. And then obviously there's welding the frame to this piece that I was trying to cut off. So this might be a waste of time, but what I'm going to try to do is just cut this right down this line where this new piece is. And then use that, because it should, you know, fit the hole perfectly. You know, use that to fill the hole and try to buzz it back on. That might be more of a, you know, a cosmetic fix than a strength fix or whatnot, like I said. So we'll see how it goes, and like I said, if it looks like I don't like it or if somebody tells me otherwise, I'll use this to plate it somehow. So let's cut this apart and see if we can make it work. All right, lucky for me, I left this little angle on here, so I got something to throw it in the vise with. So we got her in there fairly tight. Doesn't seem like it's going too far too fast. So we'll take the old death wheel, see if we can't buzz her off right along that frame line, and then we'll see if there's actually enough left of it to fill that hole in. So let me set the camera up and we'll make some more sparks. It's actually not too bad. Again, it's kind of hard to do with one hand, and I'm shining right in the light, so I don't know if you can see anything up there. But the bottom fits pretty good. The top, we still have, where we at? There we, you know, the top, we still have kind of the edge of the bracket, so I need to try to kind of shave that back a little bit, or maybe better just to leave it like that and give me some meat to weld to, and then just try to grind it off a little bit. We'll see. Maybe I'll try to trim it up a little bit, and then we'll start buzzing and see what happens. All right, I'm gonna see if I can't clean it up a little bit with my little angle grinder here without it getting away from me. Okay, I think I have, I don't know if you can see that in there, a piece in there somewhere's close. I'm gonna have to do some adjusting, you know, once I get ready to start buzzing it in. But I'm gonna grab a piece of, this is a piece of the old frame. I'm not sure what gauge metal this is. Got a little lip there where it got cut off. I got this handy tool here from Eastwood. Most of you guys are probably smart enough to look at that and know what gauge it is, but I haven't been doing this enough to know that, so I'm gonna guess it's about 12. Yeah, 12 is pretty close. 13 goes on snug. 14 don't go. So it's about 13, I'm guessing. Figuring, so I use that information to set up my welder over here. I just got her plugged in, got the gas turned on. And we'll go back to home. And that's what I got going on there. That's what I got going on there. I got I got 030. I usually have 025, but I switched to 030 last time. And I said 12, or I said 13. This goes in increments of 2. So I'll go 12 so we can burn her in a little hot, hopefully. And that's my starting point. You know, I'll give a few little buzzes at that spot and see. I may have to actually turn it down a notch because the little patch I'm welding in there is kind of thin on the edges, but that's where we'll start. Let's get set up and make some weld. All right, so I think I like how it looks on the bottom. The top's a little goofy because there's weld on there already from, you know, the bracket. And I got one little hole over here. I'll have to just weld in, but let's make some sparks and see if we can make her work. All right, bring you in here, take a look at what we just did. Probably not the prettiest thing in the world. What makes you see it the best there, but so like I said, I just took the piece that was in there and we made her fit and we buzzed her around. I'll probably go ahead and, not that it really matters, but I'll probably grind this down a little bit. And then, I don't know, I think that's probably good enough for me. You guys tell me if I'm making a mistake and if I should plate this. I don't see how it's really, I mean, obviously cutting a hole through there compromised it a little bit, but I can't imagine it being like a real stress point. But anyways, somebody that knows more than me can let me know if I need to do something more. So we'll get to grinding a little bit and see if we can't make her look a little better. All right, hold up. We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to come back out here to the Montana garage to show you some actual footage of what the repair looked like. I took some footage of it on the day I was out here doing the work, but it turns out I had the GoPro set on time lapse. So it looked something like this. And that's not good for anybody. So let's take an actual look and see how this thing turned out. So here we go, here's where the hole was. You can see the weld, obviously it didn't disappear. It's a little better on the bottom maybe. But there's no hole there anymore. I could probably grind it a little bit more and maybe make it disappear a little further, but I don't know. I think I got it to the point of what I'm gonna call good enough. And yeah, I'm just gonna run with that, I think. Oh, and also in that same clip, I explained that I had a little crack on the frame right here to fix. So you'll see that coming up here in a second. All right, got that little frame crack repaired. I forgot my camera was sitting where it was and I started grinding and shot sparks all over my camera. So the lens has little burn marks on it. So next time I do that, yell, say something like, hey, don't forget about your camera. Anyways, Moose, if you could get out of the way, we're trying to show the folks our weld we did here. Come on, buddy. He likes hanging out and being right in the way. So there's the little spot we just repaired. Can't really tell there's a weld there anymore. What do you think, Moose? Good? Don't act like you don't care. Good? He says it's good. All right, well that's all we got time for tonight. These couple little frame repairs. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, we'll do a subscriber giveaway at 5,000 subscribers. And hopefully we'll be putting some primer on the 55 soon.